Welcome inside historic St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio for today's coverage of our women's gymnastics tri-meet on BTN Student U. Thanks so much for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us. I'm Andrew Leftglass, joined by former Ohio State gymnast Paris McGee Jr. Today's tri-meet features two teams neck and neck in the top 25 with the 23rd ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, the number 24 West Virginia Mountaineers, and a hungry Temple Owls squad. The Buckeyes start on vault today, led by reigning Big Ten vault champion Jamie Stone. Ohio State in their sixth consecutive week in the top 25. They're 4-3 overall this year, 3-2 in Big Ten action.
And again, being led by the one and only Big Ten vault champion Jamie Stone, that is a perfect person, and it's a perfect way to start off your competition. Last weekend, Jamie also won the Big 5 championship floor title, so that will be a very exciting routine to watch later today.
And as for West Virginia, they are starting on the bars today. The Mountaineers entering today back in the top 25 for the first time in 6 weeks, checking in right below the 23rd ranked Buckeyes at number 24. Bars was this team's lowest scoring event at the start of the year, Paris, but they've hit a groove in the last few meets, led by Esperanza Abarca.
Yes, and again, this might be their lowest scoring event, but Esperanza Abarca, she has consistently hit a 9.825 in 3 straight meets and scoring above a 9.8 in 8 of the last 9 meets. So bars may be a low-scoring event for this team, but she is definitely their standout gymnast on this event.
And they're coming off of a grueling week last week. 2 meets, including a Sunday meet with the top team in the nation, the Oklahoma Sooners. Now let's take a look at the Temple Owls, led by first-year head coach Josh Nielsen. They'll start on beam. Temple barely missed a 49 on beam last Friday in their first meet of the weekend at Pitt. They scored a season-high 48.975.
And that is a beautiful score. Again, just small and very shy of a 49. But Monica Servideo, she is our highest ranked beam worker competing today. She is ranked 81st nationally and has consistently scored above a 9.8 and reaching that 9.9 mark earlier this season.
Well, Paris, let's turn our attention to the Buckeyes and second-year head coach Meredith Paulasiewicz. OSU in the polls, as we mentioned before, for the 6th straight week, but they're coming off a tough last-place finish at last weekend's Big 5 meet. Meredith wanted to give her girls a little mental break, and she chose a fun way to loosen things up during the course of this week.
And that fun way was through Froyo, frozen yogurt. I walked in the gym, and the girls are out catching some snacks. You know, speaking with Coach Meredith, she emphasized that her team has done the numbers they needed. Now they have to start working on their mental toughness. Their gymnastics is there. They can do the tough skills. They can do the very big routines. Now they just have to start believing in themselves with their hearts and their minds.
And that's a big point at this point in the year, because we've talked, you and I, about Meredith and her commitment to making sure this team is technically sound above their ability to compete in high-level gymnastics and perform high-level skills. She wants to make sure they're doing the little things right, and you really need mental toughness, especially at this point in the season, to be able to do that.
You know, exactly. Meredith is really focusing on the small things rather than the big things. She really wants to focus on the girls' techniques over the big skills, because she does have a young team. And having a young team in competition, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do and compete with. But they are doing it, and they are looking very fabulous.
We'll see if they're able to turn things around a little bit after a disappointing Big 5 meet last weekend. They will start on the vault today, 22nd ranked vault rotation in the nation. Janelle McClelland will lead things off for the Buckeyes. Talked about West Virginia starting on bars. They have the 30th ranked bar lineup in the country, led by Jackie Tunn, leading off with Esperanza Abarca. And Temple features the 38th ranked beam lineup in the nation, led by Monica Servideo. She will anchor. Taylor Newland will start. Your all-arounders, by the way, today for the Buckeyes, the trio of Danica Abanto, the sophomore from Tyler, Texas, Olivia Apley, the junior from Dublin, Ohio, and Jamie Stone, the senior from Chesapeake, Virginia. West Virginia has but one all-arounder. It's the junior Abby Kaufman, and then 2 all-arounders for Temple in the freshman Ariana Castrense and the sophomore Monica Servideo. about ready to go from St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio. We will turn our attention first to the bars. West Virginia starting with Esperanza Abarca, the freshman from the Colony High School in Texas, and she has had a terrific year this year, as you alluded to before, Paris. 9-8 plus in 8 of 9 meets this year. In her last 3 meets in a row, she's gone 9-8-2-5.
Yes, that is very impressive, especially for the gymnasts that you're having to start off your lineup. So that's very big, and this is going to be a great routine to watch on the bars.
2 event titles this year for Esperanza Abarca on the bars. Very consistent, says head coach Jason Butts of the Mountaineers.
Here she is starting off. Beautiful build to a handstand. Again, you want your first gymnast to be someone who's very solid, someone who can hit that routine that your team can build off of. Beautiful full pirouette to a ganger. That is huge. That is an awesome combination. A small mistake there, but she recovers very well. To a beautiful double tuck dismount. That was beautiful. She did have a small error in the routine, but again, she made up for it very well. No major errors. And then to top it off, she sticks that dismount.
And folks, by the way, all 3 performances going on at the same time today. We'll try our best to get as many live shots as we can and roll into replays for the other performers. Everybody's finished with their first lineup spot now. Janelle McClelland was on vault for the Buckeyes. Esperanza Abarca on the bars for West Virginia. So now we will highlight the Buckeyes on the vault with Danica Abanto, one of the all-arounders for Ohio State, who missed last year with a knee injury.
And again, Danica is a very talented gymnast, like Coach Meredith said before. She has more talent in her pinky finger than anyone she knows. So Danica, she's going to become a great, great gymnast for this team.
Competing in the all-around for the 4th straight week. On the vault, she has a career high and season high of 9.775. This, of course, being her first year competing at the collegiate level following that knee injury in her freshman season.
Yes, and she is coming back from a knee injury, and that is very hard. That is not an easy thing to do. I know from experience, but here she is. Erichenko, beautiful half to a small step. That was a beautiful vault. A great vault for your team to build off of. She gets a beautiful block. Pencil straight in the air, just a small step forwards.
Our scores from the first lineup spot, by the way, Janelle McClelland with a 9.725. Esperanza Abarca has a 9.775 on the bars. And waiting on our beam score for Temple still. So that will roll us right into the 3rd spot, where we will highlight Jasmine Estrella for Temple on the beam. Our first look at the Owls with Estrella, the junior from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Took 2nd place last week at the Ken Anderson Invite with a career-high tying 9.825.
And as you can already see, she is a very beautiful gymnast on this event. Exceptional lines. Here she is preparing for her Aqua Series. Beautiful back handspring step out to a layout step out. You can tell she is working through this routine with confidence. Balance beam, again, it's a very tricky event because you have to make sure that you are spot on in each and every movement that you do. But again, she is attacking this routine. You can see the focus on her face. Beautiful front toss. Combination to a beat jump to immediate dismount. That is a unique combination. Combining 3 skills into your dismount, that is not an easy thing to do. Here you see that front toss to immediate beat jump to a side full twisting gainer. That is a beautiful combination. And again, the Temple, they're doing a great job on the balance beam. They are staying on. This is by far one of the hardest events in women's gymnastics because it is just so tricky to do.
Saw Olivia Apley just finishing up her vault routine. We'll swing on over to the bars. Jackie Tunn for West Virginia, 3 bar event titles this year. You take a look at the dismount from Abby Kaufman for the Mountaineers. And now we'll get ready for Jackie. Kaufman, by the way, 9.75 so far for West Virginia on their bar routines. Abarca and Combs both with 9.775s, and the 9.75 for Abby Kaufman. For Ohio State on the vault, Janelle McClellan 9.725, Danica Abanto 9.75, Morgan Lowe 9.775, and we've only got one score in on beam. For Temple, it's Taylor Newlands 9.7. Here's Jackie Tunn on the bars.
Beautiful pike, Jaeger to immediate bell. Here she is working her way back up to the high bar. There's beautiful lines on this event. She is a taller gymnast, and you can see as she swings, but that is a huge dismount. Looks like she might have taken a small hop on that landing, but that is a difficult dismount to do. A beautiful double layout. Sky high, rising above the bars. That was gorgeous. Here you can see Jamie Stone's vault for the Buckeyes. Beautiful Yurchenko half. Small step on the landing. But again, she is a great vaulter. That is why she is the reigning Big Ten vault champion.
Great job by Jamie Stone, per usual. Waiting on her score. We've got the score from Olivia Apley, though, 9.825. That is the biggest vault score and the biggest score of the competition so far. Jamie Stone getting a 9.8 for the vault you saw a moment ago. And now we'll take a look at the final vault for Ohio State. This is Sydney Jennings.
And a beautiful Yurchenko full to a stuck. That was gorgeous. Sydney just got back in the vault lineup, so that is huge. Not only did she perform an amazing Yurchenko full, beautiful, pencil straight in the air. She knows where she is. She plants those feet on that mat. That was a gorgeous vault by Sydney.
Gosh, that's got to be so tough. Not only cracking the lineup for the first time in that apparatus, but then being asked to go in the anchor spot.
Exactly, last. So hard to do.
So now for West Virginia, Sydney Marler swinging bars.
And Sydney is gorgeous on this event. You can see her lines from her toe points to the open shoulders that she has in her handstands. This is the gymnast that you want on your team. Here she is gearing up for her dismount. A beautiful double layout. She takes some steps on that dismount, but that was gorgeous. She is extremely straight and tight in the air. That was a beautiful dismount, a beautiful uneven bar routine. That was the routine that these ladies needed.
And I beg your pardon, that appears to be Chloe Clucci. It's either Chloe Clucci or Jackie Tunn. Sydney Marler's already scored a 9.8. So we'll try to get our order straight for you as Temple heads to the beam.
Beautiful leap. That's not an easy leap to do on the balance beam. Here she is preparing for that acro series. And a beautiful back handspring step up to a layout step up. Small wobble, but she corrects her balance. And she is back on with full focus. And dismounting with a round off back 1.5. Small hop on the landing. I'm sure she might not be thrilled with that routine. But that was great nonetheless. Beautiful acro series. A great dismount.
By the way, Jackie Tunn with a 9.825, Sydney Marler with a 9.8. So they flipped the order for West Virginia in the 4 and 5 spots. Now Chloe Clucci swinging bars for the Mountaineers.
That was a beautiful pack salto down to the low bar. And switching the order in a gymnastics competition, that is very, very common to do. You just really want to make sure that you have the gymnasts that are ready, that are mentally prepared to go and hit a routine. And so sometimes that will happen. But look at that dismount. That was a beautiful double layout dismount to a stuck dismount, a stuck landing. That was gorgeous. The Mountaineers, they are really putting on the pressure in this first rotation.
And that's huge for Chloe Clucci, too. She's coming off of a tough Sunday, scoring under a 9 against Oklahoma. Only competed on bars this year and had missed the previous 3 meets, but she comes back with a bear hug and a huge performance. Getting our scores in through our first rotation right now. For Ohio State, we've got all 6 scores in. Janelle McClellan, 9.725. Danica Abanto, 9.75. Morgan Lowe, 9.775. Olivia Apley at 9.825. Jamie Stone at 9.8. And Sydney Jennings in the anchor spot in her first time on the vault this year with a 9.9 for the Buckeyes.
That is a huge score. Again, Yurchenko is not even out of a 10-0 start value, so that was a beautiful, beautiful score. And that means that she really executed that vault.
Over to the beam for Temple. We've got 3 scores in for them. Taylor Newland a 9.7, Jordy Oster a 9.775. Followed by, in the 3rd spot, Jasmine Estrella with an 8.975. This is Ariana Castrense on beam. Everybody else has wrapped up all 6 spots. Temple on the 4th spot in their beam lineup, with Castrense, the all-arounder, 3rd place last week in this event.
And that is a beautiful dismount, a round up to a double twist. Again, I know she might be a little disappointed with that routine, especially falling, knowing that she could have potentially stayed on. But again, the fact that she was able to finish strong, that's what is most important.
And so on beam still for Temple, they'll go to Delaney Guerin in the 5th spot, then Monica Servideo in the 6th, getting our bar scores in for West Virginia. In the 1st spot, well, the number 1 score, I should say, Jackie Tunn with a 9.825. Sydney Marlar had a 9.8. Kira Kaczynski with a 9.8 as well. Kaczynski, a late addition to that bar lineup. Esperanza Barca 9.775. Abby Kaufman at 9.750. So our biggest score thus far, we've got 2 9.825s. One from West Virginia's Jackie Tunn on the bars, and one from Olivia Apley on vault for the Buckeyes. Biggest score for anybody on any apparatus in our first rotation goes to Sydney Jennings in that 9.9. Sometimes in these tri-meets, it can be a little bit of a hurry up and wait, and that's what West Virginia and Ohio State are experiencing right now. Delaney Guerin getting ready on the beam. We get our score in for Ariana Castrense. She had a 9.05 for Temple. Now on to the 5th spot in that lineup. Here is Guerin, sophomore out of Fairfax, Virginia. Season high last Friday of 9.75 on the beam.
And I know Guerin is really going to want to hit this routine, especially with the falls that Temple has had in this lineup. Rock solid acro series, back handspring step out to a layout step out. She has very strong focus on this event. And again, she is a beautiful gymnast to watch. Small wobble, but she recovers very well. It almost looked like that was a dance move and that was supposed to happen. But she did lose her balance a little after that combination, but she is back on. Here she is, an area to a tuck full dismount. That is very hard, but she does it, and she makes it look so easy. That was a great routine for the Owls to finish off of. This may not have been their best balance beam rotation, but I know that they can continue to focus and stay strong throughout this competition.
That was a really tough last 2 skills leading into that dismount, Paris. Very quick before she dismounted right from the edge of the beam. How difficult is that to find your spot with those 2 staccato skills?
Exactly. That is a very difficult thing to do. And it's not as common as it may seem, because again, to do a skill like that, of that difficulty, and again, here's a replay, that beautiful area to a tuck full. That was gorgeous.
She's got to find herself on the edge of that beam before the dismount. That's Delaney Guerin waiting on her score as we get a look at Monica Servideo anchoring on the beam for the Owls. She'll have a triple series with a flick lay. Season and career high of 9.9 she got earlier this year, almost a month ago to the day on February the 1st.
And again, Monica is a very consistent gymnast on the balance beam for the Temple Owls, so this routine is going to be very, very important for them to stay in contention in this competition.
She owns Temple's only beam titles this year, 2 of them. We told you at the top of the broadcast, she is the highest ranked beam worker competing today, 81st in the country.
And there is that acro series, a back handspring step out to 2 layout step outs. That is gorgeous, and that is very hard to do. That is very hard to do. To stay square and perform 2 of those acro series in a row without using your hands, that is not easy. But she does it very well. And again, it's not common either to see that type of skill. That is more of an elite skill, as many gymnasts would say. So she's preparing for that dismount. A round off back 1.5, small hop on the landing. But again, that was a great routine. That was a very good routine for the Temple Owls. Here is a replay. Beautiful round off to back 1.5. Small hop on that dismount. But that was a great routine.
A terrific way for Temple to finish up. We'll take a break before starting our second rotation. When we come back, Ohio State on the bars, West Virginia on the beam, Temple on the floor exercise. And we'll get a score update as well when we return to Columbus on BTN Student U. Through our first rotation between Ohio State, Temple, and West Virginia, our tri-meet today from St. John Arena in Columbus. You take a look at our scores so far today. Ohio State with a narrow edge as the only of these 3 competitors to score a 49 or better. Sydney Jennings with the highest score with a 9-9 vault in that anchor spot for the Buckeyes as we take a look at their uneven bar lineup. Ohio State with a terrific bar lineup this year. They entered today with the 15th ranked bar lineup in the nation, Paris, and 3 girls who have posted 9 9s this year.
Yes, Olivia Appley, who is the reigning Big Ten uneven bar champion. And then you have Jenna Schwartzentruber and Claire Gagliardi. So those 3 gymnasts are top gymnasts for this team. Claire has a huge release skill on this event. Jenna has beautiful lines. The way she just executes her routine and the skills in her routine is like none other. And then you have Olivia, who again is a reigning Big Ten champion on that event. So the Buckeyes have some very special gymnasts to watch on this key event.
So Ohio State on the bars. You see them getting their workouts in now. West Virginia will start on the beam in this second rotation, where head coach Jason Butts thinks that they have the most depth that they have on any apparatus, Paris.
And again, Esperanza Abarca, she's just a freshman, but she's anchoring this team on this event and by far one of the top beam workers for the Mountaineers, averaging the highest season score for the gymnasts competing on the balance beam for West Virginia.
It looks like they have moved her up to the 2nd spot in this beam order for West Virginia. I believe she was originally, as you said, Paris, slated to go in that anchor spot, and now they have flipped things around a little bit for West Virginia. Now let's take a look at the Temple lineup on the floor. India Anderson, one of the gymnasts for Temple, will be competing, and one of the girls to watch. She is in that anchor spot for the Owls.
Yes, and India Anderson, she is one of the gymnasts for Temple who will not compete but perform on the floor exercise. She has unique artistry and tumbling in her routine, and a great example of a 3-dimensional type of routine that her head coach Nilsson expressed. So she's definitely going to be the gymnast that we're going to watch on the floor exercise for the Temple Owls.
And as for Ohio State, we talked about a little bit before their 2nd-year head coach Meredith Paulasiewicz. Take a look at her. Meredith leading this Buckeyes team, and Paris, you and I have talked in the first couple of meets that we've called together about Meredith's focus on the technical skills for the Buckeyes. You take a look at her record there. She is not only trying to bring this Buckeyes team into national relevance, but also try to grow these girls in terms of their skill and ability, not by necessarily challenging them in competition to go with maybe the most difficult skill, but by doing things that are within their control.
Exactly. again, Meredith is very, very focused on just executing the routines that they have. You don't need the big skills. You don't need more twists or, anything to make your routine stand out maybe numerically, but you just want to be able to execute what you have. Take the routine that you have, execute it well, and then you'll be able to score well. That's what the Ohio State team, that's what they've been focusing on this season. And I believe that it's definitely a philosophy that is working very well for them.
So getting ready for our start of this second rotation. Again, Ohio State on the bars, West Virginia on the beam, and Temple on the floor. Let's take a look at the Temple head coach, Josh Nilsson, in his first year at the helm of the Owls. He came to Philly with a decorated resume that includes assistant coaching stints at Utah State and Air Force, as well as an interim co-head coach position at Penn State. His girls will be on the floor during this rotation. We talked to Nilsson a little bit ahead of our competition this week about bringing some artistry into their floor routines, so we'll be watching out for that. He actually brought in assistant coach Rachel Innes to help bring that artistry into the floor routine, a former professional dancer who we'll talk about.
Yes, and he brought the artistry by bringing in the assistant coach, Rachel Innes. Coach, she is not only just a former decorated gymnast at Auburn, but she is also a professional dancer who performed in live productions like Beauty and the Beast for Walt Disney World. She's the choreographer for this team, for the Temple Owls, and has brought a new level of artistry to the team.
We will start off by taking a look at the Buckeyes on the bars. Peyton Hinterberger to lead things off for Ohio State, the junior from Fairport, New York. 15th ranked bar lineup in the country for the Buckeyes.
Starting off strong already. Beautiful shuttle Jaeger. Again, Peyton, she's a very consistent gymnast on this event for them to start off of. She's moving through this routine with confidence, great assurance. Here she is, preparing for her dismount. A step double tuck, that was gorgeous. That was the greatest way for this team to start off on this event. They had a great rotation on the vault. Now they moved on to the bars. Here's that beautiful replay. Full pirouette to immediate double back dismount. That was great. That was a great job from Peyton for the Buckeyes.
Season high 9.875 on the bars for Peyton Hinterberger. That's also her career high. We'll see if she's able to top it. Move on over to the bar beam for West Virginia. Before that, we'll get to the floor for Temple with Taylor Newland.
And again, we talked about the artistry that this team has on the floor exercise, bringing out that personality more with the movements and the choreography that they have with the help of their assistant coach. Beautiful second pass. Round up back 1.5 to a punch front layout. You can see her teammates in the background dancing and cheering her on.
And that's something we talked about with Coach Nilsson ahead of this week about bringing on Rachel Innes to add to the artistry in their gymnastics performances. That was a gorgeous performance to lead things off by Taylor Newland. And Paris, as a guy who's competed on floor yourself, how cool is it to see Coach Nilsson bring in somebody with a dance background?
I think it's phenomenal. I think it just adds a certain level of depth to the gymnast and to the team, and it really makes your team stand out. I think that was a perfect addition for his team.
Now onto the beam with the leadoff spot, McKenna Lennon finishing up for West Virginia, sophomore out of Canton, Michigan.
And that was a beautiful dismount. We saw a tuck front full off the beam.
Got our first score in, by the way, on the bars. Peyton Hinterberger just shy of tying her career high. She's a 9.85 as we get a look at the dismount from Lennon. Esperanza Abarca getting ready on beam for West Virginia. And on bars for the Buckeyes, there is Jamie Stone. Here's the floor routine for Temple. Jaylene Everett in the number 2 spot. There's Taylor Newland finishing things up for the Owls.
That
Jamie
was
Stone.
a beautiful last pass for the Temples. Here we are on the bar with Jamie Stone. This is her first season competing on the uneven bars, and that is impressive, especially with her being a senior. A beautiful pirouette to a double tuck dismount. That was a stick. Again, these ladies, the Lady Bucks that are hitting this rotation on the uneven bars, that was gorgeous. You know, Meredith talked with her team with expectation versus intention, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but again, these ladies, they have intention. They are competing with intention, intending to hit their routines. Here's a replay of that beautiful full pirouette to immediate double tuck dismount to a stuck landing. You can see the judge in the back pretty impressed with that routine.
Jamie Stone has been impressive throughout this entire 2019 season for Ohio State, coming off a big floor performance at the Big 5. Moving on over to the beam for West Virginia in his second rotation. This is their number 2 spot with Abby Kaufman.
And that was a beautiful acro series. Beautiful switch leap to immediate switch leap to immediate beat jump. That was a beautiful combination. Cat jump to her aerial. Again, she is attacking this routine. You can see just how comfortable she is as she is smiling through. And look at that dismount, a full twist and gainer off to the side to a stuck dismount. That was gorgeous.
Take a look again at the bar routine performed by Olivia Apley for the Buckeyes, reigning Big Ten uneven bar champion. Scores in so far for 3 Buckeye bar workers. Peyton Hinterberger 9.85, Danica Abanto at 9.8, Jamie Stone at 9.825. Right now, the biggest score belongs to Peyton Hinterberger on the bars. West Virginia swung bars in the opening rotation. Olivia Apley gets a 9.8 for that performance.
And on the bars, we have Jenna Schwartzentruber.
Let's head over to that routine.
She is gorgeous on this event. Beautiful chapache. Here's that Pax also. And again, she lifts off the bars. I mean, many gymnasts perform that skill, but not many can do it like she does. Here she is back up on the high bar, hits that handstand. Here she is preparing for a huge double L dismount. Let's see if she can stick like last time. She takes a small step on that dismount, but again, she's a beautiful bar worker. She is so phenomenal. I mean, she has huge skills. Here is another look at that dismount. A beautiful double L, small step on the landing, but that was gorgeous. I mean, I could watch that routine all day. It's just that beautiful.
2 event titles this year. Both are on the uneven bars. As we head back to the floor for Temple, this is Ariana Castrense, the freshman. Seeing her open up in that double layout. Talking to Coach Josh Nilsson Paris ahead of this week, he said that Ariana brings some gymnastics that he doesn't think the fans in Philly have seen before.
Yes, and again, that first pass, that's not an easy pass to do. A front handspring double twist to immediate punch front tuck. And then coming back with the second pass, a beautiful round up back handspring, huge double kite. She is an amazing gymnast all around on each event. Here she is shining on the floor exercise for the Temple Owls. You can see her teammates in the back cheering her on, dancing with her. That is what the floor exercise is all about. It's more of a performance. You want to be able to go out there, have fun, dance, and then execute your tumbling to show everyone just how great you are. That was a beautiful last pass. That was a gorgeous routine for the Temple Owls. This is their event, I must say. I know that each and every one of their gymnasts are phenomenal on this event. They have beautiful choreography, great tumbling. Great
Head on
gymnast.
over to the bars, see if we can get a replay of the dismount for Claire Gagliardi, who's just finished up the last Buckeye uneven bar routine. The Ohio State freshman from Hubbard, Ohio.
And that is a beautiful double dismount to a stuck in. She's a freshman, but she competes as if she's a veteran. I mean, she's pencil straight in the air, a huge dismount. That is not an easy dismount to do. And then she plants her feet on the mat and sticks that dismount. I think that is definitely going to be a 9.9 mark, possibly even a 9.9 plus for Claire on that event.
Now to the beam, West Virginia's Rachel Hornung, another freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
A small little error on that front area, but she recovers very well. She stays on the beam again, which is the most important thing to do. You want to be able to stay on your event. That was a beautiful combination. There's beautiful lines on this event. From her toe point to her extensions. That was a beautiful leap combination series.
This is the fourth spot in the lineup for West Virginia. Right before, Abby Kaufman had a 9.825, our biggest beam score so far.
And a beautiful dismount around off back 1.5. Small hop on that dismount, but that was gorgeous.
So Ohio State now done on bars. Claire Gagliardi with a 9.875. Everybody for the Buckeyes hitting 9.8 or better on the uneven bars. As we head down to the floor, Ariana Castrense performing for Temple. This is one of the performances to watch, Paris.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to see that first pass, but it was huge. A round off back handspring double layer on the floor exercise. You do not see that often. That is such a hard floor skill to do, but she does it with ease. She has so much power. I mean, she is phenomenal on this event. She has a skill. She has a personality. I mean, look at that. I'm just living through this performance. I mean, I want to get out of my chair and do the salsa dance too.
2 scores in so far for Temple on the floor. Delaney Guerin 9.5, Jaylene Everett 9.7.
Not only is she working this floor exercise, but you can even see some of the fans dancing in the background. Here she is getting ready for yet another pass. And a beautiful combination, a whip half that you don't see often. And a strong finish. That was a great routine. A beautiful opening pass. Again, a round up back handspring. It was a huge double layout. That was gorgeous. She floats in the air. She's so tight and very clean.
Look how excited Josh Nielsen was in the background after her teammates gave her the high fives.
And that was her last pass, a round off whip path to immediate Rudy. That was gorgeous. Again, a combination that you don't see too often in college gymnastics.
Over on the beam now, Kira Kaczynski for West Virginia, the senior.
And we will see Kira later on tonight on the power events, the floor exercise and the vault, where she just shines. She's phenomenal on those events. But here she is working very hard and focused on the balance beam.
She's
for West Virginia.
A leader on this team. Associate head coach Travis Doak speaking before the season, talking about how badly they want to finish her career at the NCAA championships with her team behind her. She's the team's highest scorer on this event.
And that was a beautiful combination that we just saw. Again, these ladies from each team, they're performing some big skills, some very tough skills, and they're executing it very well. Here she is preparing for that dismount. Air to immediate layout full to a stuck dismount. This was the routine that West Virginia needed to stay in contention in this competition. Such a difficult combination to do, but she does it well.
Now on the floor, Monica Servideo for Temple. They are 3 deep into their rotation. This is the 4th spot. Delaney Guerin 9.5, Jaylene Everett 9.7, Ariana Castrense 9.675. This is the sophomore Servideo, one of the all-arounders. A 9.75 on beam to start the afternoon.
And here she is preparing for that second pass. Round up by handspring, huge double tuck. Again, I can watch these routines all day. I mean, the way these ladies just perform their routines, they are working to the music, extremely expressive. Here she is getting ready for her final tumbling pass. Round off back 1.5 to a immediate front layout. And a strong finish for Temple in that routine. That was a great routine for the Temple Owls to build off of.
Taylor Sell over to the beam for West Virginia as we get a look at that last pass for Monica Servideo.
Again, beautiful round off back 1.5 to immediate punch, front layout, and then that ending pose.
Swing on over to the beam, catch Taylor Sell in the middle of her beam work. Career high last Friday for her, 9.775.
That was a beautiful combination that we just saw. The front area to immediate beat jump. And a strong dismount, a pike gainer off the beam to a stuck dismount. Her team is extremely happy with that routine. Here we can see that dismount again. Beautiful pike gainer to immediate stuck dismount, fighting for that landing. And again, that's what you want to do. You want to fight for every 10th because that's what your team needs. They have to fight for every 10th.
Out of the floor. This is the 5th spot in the rotation for the floor exercise for Temple. Tori Edwards competing, sophomore out of Haymarket, Virginia.
Opening up with a strong round up back handspring double pike. Again, each of these routines are so different from every other gymnast that competes. That is what the floor exercise is all about. It's all about showcasing your personality, showcasing your artistry, and then your tumbling pass. Great second pass.
And she's one of the best for Temple. Competed as an alternate, or chosen as an alternate on the floor at last year's regionals.
Here she is getting ready for that final pass. Around a back 1.5 to immediate front layout. The Temple Owls, again, this is their event. They have some strong performances, and they're performing very strong, especially after a shaky beam rotation.
Well, so that will line us up for our very last performance of this third rotation. It will be India Anderson on the floor for Temple. Get an update on our scores for Ohio State on the bars, West Virginia on the beam. Highest score on the bars for the Buckeyes was a tie. We had a couple of 9.875s. Jenna Schwartzentruber and Claire Gagliardi usurping Jackie Tunn's spot for West Virginia as the top bar worker thus far. And on the beam for West Virginia, top scores of 9.825. There were a trio of those, Kaczynski, Sell, and Kaufman, each with 9.825s, and that marks them in a three-way tie. Better than the two 9.775s on the beam for Temple. India Anderson getting ready to work on the floor for Temple. Tori Edwards posting a 9.675. Their highest floor routine thus far belongs to Servideo, Monica Servideo, with a 9.725. So here's India Anderson, the senior. Josh Nilsson says this is one of their most entertaining and unique floor routines, Paris.
And right off the back, the music, I absolutely love it. The dynamic music that we have. This is by far my favorite routine for the Temple Owls. Here she is preparing for her first pass, a huge double pike to a stuck dismount. You can see India is working this routine. She is living through each movement, and she is just having fun. I mean, this is what college gymnastics is all about. Again, for these girls, for many of them, this is the end of their career. So to be able to top it off and be able to just truly enjoy what you love before it's all over, it's something special. It's very special.
You talked about performers in the floor exercise. India Anderson was so good on the floor when they went to Southern Utah that Southern Utah gave her a standing ovation.
And again, you can't deny the greatness that she has. I mean, she's able to not only get her teammates, to join in on this routine, but she's able to get the crowd going. She's able to get the judges going, and that is what you need, especially on the floor exercise. Again, you don't just go through the movements, you don't just do the skills, but you perform. And this is what this young lady is doing. Here, that was a unique finish to such a strong routine.
India Anderson finishing up on the floor for Temple. We are now through 2 rotations at historic St. John Arena in Columbus. As we get set for our 3rd rotation, when we come back, Ohio State will head over to the to the beam. West Virginia on the floor and Temple on the vault. That is coming up next when we return to Columbus on BTN Student U.
I just want to give a special shout out to all the military personnel out there, especially my dad who's a Navy SEAL back home. Thank you for all that you do for this country. Go Bucks!
Fans of women's gymnastics team and the Department of Athletics would like to welcome the following groups to today's meet. Gym Extreme, the Maslin YMCA, Future Gymnastics, French Gymnastics, Worthington Gymnastics. Please report to the promotions table behind.
Back at historic St. John Arena in Columbus, Ohio, where our tri-meet heads to the 3rd rotation. Take a look at our scores so far. Buckeyes through the first 2 rotations have the edge, followed by West Virginia and Temple. Buckeyes go to the beam, West Virginia to the floor, and Temple to the vault. As we take a look at our starting lineups, first for Ohio State on the beam, and Paris, the big focus this week from head coach Meredith Paulasiewicz has been on expectations versus intentions. That is especially important on this apparatus.
Yes, expectation versus intention. And what that simply means is that this team wants to have intentions coming into a competition, no expectations. Speaking with Coach Meredith, she said going into a competition, we don't know what the judges will do. We can't have expectations, but we need to have intentions. We need to intend with purpose to perform the routines, be consistently hit, and practice in competition.
Now let's head over to West Virginia, where again they are heading over to the floor exercise, where they boast the 8th ranked floor lineup in the nation, led by Kira Kaczynski.
And if Kira Kaczynski scores a perfect 10 today, it will come as no surprise. Kaczynski, saw a perfect 10 for the first time from one judge earlier this season, and her coach still believes she can earn that perfect 10 from both judges today.
It was last week she had that 9.975, oh so close. Now to the vault, Temple. On the vault in the 3rd rotation, their anchor may just be a 4-foot, 11-inch freshman Paris, but head coach Josh Nielsen says Ariana Castrense has got some serious power.
And I am pretty convinced that Castrense can possibly dunk on the basketball court. She has springs in her legs like no one else. Again, she is only 4'11", but the amplitude that she gets from her vault is massive. And on top of it all, the landing mat that she uses is an 8-inch landing mat in addition to the vault landing mats that are required. So again, that just goes to show how much power she has on the vault.
Now let's meet West Virginia head coach Jason Butts. He's in his 8th season leading this program, 13th with the Mountaineers overall. He's got to be happy this week as girls back in the top 25 following a 6-week absence from the road to nationals polls. They're coming off a really grueling 2-meet weekend, though, Paris. A first-place finish last Friday at a tri-meet in Pittsburgh, and then a loss to the top team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners. It is not easy competing in that Big 12.
No, it's not easy at all, but I have to say this team is so strong, and they've been performing very well. So I know that they can perform very strong in this competition today.
So we will start things off in this third rotation by getting a look at Ohio State on the beam, where again Morgan Lowe will lead things off for the Buckeyes. Sophomore from Dallas, Texas. Speaking a couple weeks ago with Meredith on the beam rotation, she says that this team is more composed on this apparatus this year than they've been on the beam in years past.
And I have to say, Morgan is by far one of my favorites to watch for this team on this event. I get so excited every time she salutes her hand because I know that she's going to perform very well. She has exceptional lines from her toe point to her hand flicks. I mean, it is just gorgeous. And look at that series. She floats on that layout step out, the second skill that she performs in that acro series. She has gorgeous extension, beautiful switch lead to a straddle, jump, gorgeous, very gorgeous. She takes her time. She doesn't rush her skills, which is very important not to do. You don't want to rush your skills on the balance beam. But again, she's attacking this routine. I mean, from start to finish, every skill that she does, she executed perfectly. Here she is performing, getting ready for that dismount. A round off to a back 1.5, a small hop, a small little shimmy with her feet on that dismount. But that was a gorgeous routine, and that was how they needed to start on the balance beam.
There's Tori Edwards on the vault. Small step on the landing as Temple gets started on their third rotation.
Small step, but that was a great vault. And again, you want to be able to just land on your feet on the vault. That's one of the biggest things that you want to do. You want to focus on your landings and get that stick. You want that stick. That's what you want for the vault in every event.
Temple with a little bit of a change in their vault lineup as well. Jackie Turpak coming into that lineup for Daisy Todd as we get a look at the finish to McKenna Linnen's floor exercise.
And that pass is gorgeous for a handspring to Arudi to immediate back layout step out. She has gorgeous lines on every apparatus. And a beautiful finishing pose. She's a pleasure to watch in gymnastics. She truly is.
Three scores in already on the vault for Temple, by the way. Monica Servideo with the highest at 9.725. Jackie Turpak 9.5 and Tori Edwards 9.625. This is Abby Kaufman. Check that on the beam for Ohio State, Jenna Schwartzentruber.
And that was a beautiful acro series that we saw. Back handspring to a layout step out. Jenna is a taller gymnast sitting at 5'7". So again, it makes gymnastics a little harder to do, but when she does it, it makes it so much more beautiful than all of her competitors. The extension that she has from her arms to her legs, it is gorgeous. Beautiful switch lead to immediate split jump. I think that little smirk to the judge is letting them know that she is going to hit this routine, and she does. That was a beautiful gainer off to the side. Full twisting gainer off to the side. That was gorgeous. This is definitely a whole different team than the team that competed on the balance beam just last weekend at the Big 5 Championships.
There's our last vault from Temple with Estrella Estrella, 4th spot in that lineup. Back to the floor for West Virginia. Abby Kaufman finishing up for the Mountaineers.
I love the music and the dynamic change. Here she is getting ready for that final pass. A beautiful round of back handspring, double back dismount. That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. She is smiling to her teammates because she knows that she just performed an amazing floor routine. Here we can see that final pass one more time. A round of back handspring to a huge double tuck. See her coach just screaming in the background because that was gorgeous. That was amazing and a fun ending as well.
And they're going to need some big performances like that to catch up to the Buckeyes, who are having a terrific start on the beam. Danica Bonto over on beam right now for Ohio State after a 9.85 from Morgan Lowe and a 9.875 from Jenna Swartzentruber.
And those are huge scores on the balance beam for this team. They've been struggling a little on this event, so it's very important that they can keep that confidence. That was a fall from Danica that we just saw. But again, this team's, a little bit of a moonwalk. I had to pause. Again, that takes me out every time. I think that's just my favorite thing that she does, that she performs. And a beautiful dismount. Again, they're gonna wanna drop this score. You're allowed to drop your lowest score. So they're gonna wanna drop this score from the competition. But again, they started off strong, so there is no reason why they can't finish strong.
Over to the vault. This was Jaylene Everett in the 5th spot for Temple. Their highest score on the vault so far, Monica Servidio's 9.725. Over to the floor, Erica Fontaine for West Virginia. Junior from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Season and career high 9.85 on this event. A couple of weeks ago in a tri-meet, Utah State.
Sometimes I forget I'm at a gymnastics competition, a sporting event, because these routines are just so magnificent in being able and captivating the audience, the crowd, the uniqueness that these girls have, and they're having fun. That's what's most important. Here she is preparing for that final pass. A beautiful front handspring to a Rudy. And what a strong way to finish. That was a great routine.
That's the number 3 spot, Erica Fontaine on the floor for the Mountaineers. Here's Jamie Stone coming off a big week for the Buckeyes at the Big 5, winning the floor exercise. And now she's on the beam where she has 2 of her team-leading 10 event titles.
That was a beautiful series. A back handspring step out to a layout step out. This team, they have a whole new sense of confidence. And you know, Coach Meredith, I must say, I think that frozen yogurt trip did these girls justice, because today they are competing so differently than how they've been competing in their past competitions.
Well, you know, you talked before, we've talked several times this year about how difficult, especially it is on beam, to have that mental fortitude, and just having that little mental break midweek has to have helped.
And a stuck dismount. That was gorgeous from Jamie Stone. That is such a hard dismount to do. A round of back 2.5 twists. And she plants those feet to the mat. That was gorgeous. I've seen her do that many a times in practice, and I've been waiting for her to do that in competition, and she does it today. She answers with a stuck dismount. That is how you come back on the balance beam right after a fall from the previous competitor. That was gorgeous.
Danica Bonto had a 9.15. That is a huge comeback for the Buckeyes. Over to the floor, Rachel Hornung competing for West Virginia. The Mountaineers coming off of Erica Fontaine's 9.775, and Rachel, a freshman, Career high of 9.9, and she's gotten some huge praise this year from the coaching staff as a potential future all-arounder.
And again, I can see why she gets so much praise, because that pass was gorgeous. A round-off back handspring, a huge double tuck. Again, these girls are out there and they are having fun. Because they're having fun, they are taking off that pressure, and they are able to compete very well. Here she is setting up for a final pass. Round off back 1.5 to a beautiful front layout. We are seeing some gorgeous gymnastics today. All of these teams are performing so strong. That was a strong finish for the floor exercise for West Virginia.
Rachel Hornung trying to jump over the top of India Anderson for Temple, who right now has the highest floor score at 9.85. This is Olivia Apley in the number 5 spot in the Buckeyes beam rotation. They've gone 9.85 or better for everybody except for Danica Abantos. You figure they'll drop that score. And Jamie Stone just impressing with a 9.925. Great dismount by Olivia Apley.
Yes, that was a beautiful gainer off to the side, full twisting gainer off to the side. Here we're going to see that dismount again. Beautiful full twisting gainer, small hop on that landing, but that was great. Again, this team is competing so strong, and it's finally great to see this team compete like they know how they can.
Now to Jackie Tunn on the floor for West Virginia. That 9.925, by the way, for Jamie Stone. Career high tying. It's her season best on the apparatus.
That first pass was gorgeous. A full twisting double back to a beautiful landing. Again, she has gorgeous lines in this event. You can see it in the muscles of her legs. You can see it in her toe point. Here's that second pass. Around a whip. That was gorgeous. Around a whip to a double twist. Again, from this angle, I almost thought it was a triple, but that was a double twist.
She's been electric on the floor this year. 9.9 or better 4 times. She's gone 9.925 twice. She's the 25th ranked floor worker in the country.
You know, I think this floor music sounds a bit similar. This is the same floor music that you may hear later from Danica Abanto for the house say on the floor, and that was a gorgeous last pass. I think that just might be another 9.9 routine for her. That was a beautiful, beautiful routine. Beautiful tumbling, great extensions in her leaps.
If it's 9.9, that would be our first 9.9 on floor today. Here's Colby Miller anchoring on the beam for the Buckeyes. It was originally going to be Janelle McClellan, but now the freshman Colby Miller, coming back from an elbow injury, usually a bar specialist, will anchor what has been a terrific beam lineup for the Buckeyes today.
You know, you mentioned that she was a freshman, but with this routine and with the focus in her face, I might have thought she was an upperclassman. She's competing like she has all the experience in the world, which is great. It is what this team needs. That was a beautiful combination, a cat jump to an aerial. Here she is preparing for that dismount. A beautiful pike gainer. You can see Coach Meredith, she is excited because this team just hit a balance beam rotation that they have not performed in quite some time this season. Here we can see that dismount again. A beautiful pike gainer off the balance beam. And Coach Meredith, she throws her arms up in victory because her team just performed very well on the balance beam in this rotation.
They dropped Danica Abanto's 9.15. Everybody else should be 9.8 or better. This is Kira Kaczynski, the senior, rounding out the floor for West Virginia. Went 9.975 last week, and a really cool story. We've talked about choreography a lot. Kaylin Millick responsible for West Virginia's choreography. Kira and Kaylin started picking out the music for this floor routine last year. Kira wanted to do a throwback routine. She and Kaylin came in with ideas, and they made up the routine, Paris, on the spot in the gym.
And you know, Andrew, I'm not surprised. Look at her. She's a dancer, she's a performer, and she's a gymnast who can tumble.
Coach Jason Budd says she has her own cheering section when they compete at home in West Virginia, with good reason.
And rightfully so. Here she is getting ready for that final pass. Round up back handspring to a huge double pike. That was huge. I mean, she just lifted that pass off the ground. She was floating in the air, a beautiful tight pike position, and then a perfect landing. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that right there. That was gorgeous.
We're still looking for a 9-9 on floor. Paris, I think we might have just got it. That was phenomenal.
You know, if that was not a 9-9 routine, I think I just might take this headset down and start judging myself, because that routine was gorgeous. Beautiful tumbling passes, and again, that last pass was huge. It was sky high, great technique, beautiful, nice tight pike position, and then she finds that ground, plants that feet, and finishes strong.
Well, West Virginia gets the artistry and the performances they needed in this third rotation on the floor. Ohio State with a masterful beam performance, though, and they lead after 3 rotations, posting 2 9-9 pluses. Jamie Stone with that 9.925. Colby Miller, the freshman, anchoring with a 9-9. And as much as West Virginia has done on the floor, Kira Kaczynski with a 9.875, they still trail the Buckeyes as we head into our 4th and final rotation in Columbus on BTN Student U.
Now, fans, on your feet, it's time for Hang On Slippy.
Back in Columbus, Ohio, in our gymnastics tri-meet today, Ohio State, the number 23 ranked team in the nation, coming into this afternoon with a narrow edge over the 24th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. Welcome back inside historic St. John Arena, everybody. Jamie Stone coming off of a brilliant beam performance, a 9.925, tying a career high. Meredith Paulasiewicz, her arms in the air, Paris, after that brilliant work on the beam.
Yes, that was fantastic. That is exactly what Ohio State needed on the balance beam. They struggled this season on that event, but after that last rotation, you could not tell.
And Jamie Stone will be the leader in this floor exercise as well. She's coming off a Big 5 event title, throwing a 9.925 last weekend in that competition. Heading over to West Virginia on the vault as they finish up as well. The Mountaineers, the 7th ranked vaulter in the country in their lineup, Kira Kaczynski. She'll be in the number 5 spot today, Paris.
And Andrew, one judge threw Kira Kaczynski a perfect 10 at last Friday's Pittsburgh tri-meet, where she earned a 9.95 and took home the vault title. She is definitely going to be a favorite for West Virginia to watch on the vault.
Well, she will need a 9.9 or better in order to earn a share of the event title this week. Sydney Jennings for Ohio State had a 9.9 in the first rotation. Now on to Temple on the uneven bars. They're anchored by junior Jasmine Estrella. Paris Estrella, not only a highly skilled bar worker, but we've talked about this, a bond with head coach Josh Nielsen dating back to their time at Utah State. So much so that she transferred there to Temple when Nielsen got the Owls job this year.
And both transitioning from Aggies to becoming Temple Owls is a connection that they have. They both have worked under the program at Utah State and were able to bring that special spark over to Temple, where together they shine as a coach-athlete duo.
Again, Ohio State, you take a look at their lineup, finishing on the floor. They will lead things off with Brooke Chesney, who was their leadoff last year in this event. Missed the first 6 meets of this season, Paris, but returning to that leadoff spot for the Buckeyes, returned in their last home meet against Nebraska. It has been huge for Meredith to get her back into that leadoff spot to help them build their scores on this event.
Yes, and I must say that if this team hits on this event, and even if they have small mistakes, they are definitely going to take this competition home tonight, and they are going to defend their arena, their home, St. John.
By the way, a quick update on our all-around scores, and we'll give you the lowdown on the event title leaders as well. But Jamie Stone leading the all-around, heading into the final rotation at 29.55 as Brooke Chesney gets started for the Buckeyes on floor.
I love watching Brooke on this event. The choreography that she has is so unique, and head coach Meredith is to thank for that. She choreographed each of these routines, making sure that these girls can not only perform and execute their foot exercise, but that they can have fun, get the audience moving, get the judges involved, and do that right there. A beautiful opening pass, brown off back handspring to a huge, beautiful double pipe. Here she is getting ready for that second pass. Brown up back handspring to a huge double top. These ladies are performing so well. And again, it's so great to see them perform the way they know they can compete. Little change of tempo in this routine. You can see her teammate smiling in the back. And here's my favorite part, the butt bounce. Showing just how strong those legs are, if you couldn't tell by her massive combo pass. Here she is getting ready for that last pass. A beautiful round of back 1.5 to immediate punch front layout. That was gorgeous and such a strong start for this team. I mean, this team is just rocking it, and they are excited.
She certainly doesn't lack for power. Onto the bars. Second spot for Temple, Delaney Guerin. Daisy Todd went first, hit a 9.75. We've gotten 2 spots through on the vault for West Virginia. Jackie Tunn just competing her 3rd. Let's see if we can catch that last dismount for Temple. Here's Delaney Guerin. 2 spots through on Temple's bar lineup. On the vault, by the way, for West Virginia, we've got a score in for Rachel Hornung in the leadoff spot of 9.775. Jackie Tunn at 9.8, and Michelle Waldron at 9.75. Brooke Chesney earning a 9.825 for her floor exercise. This is Jackie Tunn on the vault for West Virginia.
And this vault is gorgeous. I mean, she is in straight alignment with the vault. That was a beautiful Yuchenko, full twist, extremely tight in the air. No forward brinks whatsoever. That was beautiful.
Now back to the floor. Ohio State has Peyton Hinterberger after Abby Kaufman finished up her vault for West Virginia.
In the last home meet, Peyton actually exhibition on the floor exercise, but here she is back competing, and that was a beautiful opening for Hampton to a front double twist. Peyton is such a joy to watch. She has grown so much. I remember her coming in just as a freshman, and here she is competing like the veteran that she is for this team, and she held on just a little too much on that double pike.
What do you mean when you say she held on a little bit too much?
She was supposed to open up and not continue flipping, but instead she might have felt that she needed to keep rotating in order to land perfectly or well enough on her feet, but unfortunately she just second-guessed herself and she held onto the pike position a little too long, and by the time she opened up to land, she had way too much rotation and way too much power. But again, the Buckeyes that have great routines on the floor exercise that are still to come. So they can definitely throw this routine out. But that was a beautiful last pass, around a back 1.5 to immediate front pike. And again, such a disappointment for her. She works so hard in and out the gym. But again, the team is still performing well, and they still have great routines to come.
This is Tori Edwards with her dismount for Temple on the bars. Let's see if we can roll back to that last vault by West Virginia. Kira Kaczynski, we talked about as being the 7th-ranked vaulter in the country in Paris. She is trying to become the first ever West Virginia gymnast to earn an All-American nod in all 4 years in Morgantown.
And with this vault, I think she can. That vault is out of a 10.0. I'm not sure if the judges will give her that stick value. And judging from her score, she got a 9.850. They may not have, but that was an amazing vault. That is very difficult. And I believe she might be the only gymnast in this competition performing a 10.0 vault. That was huge.
3-time second-team All-American on the vault. This is Esperanza Abarca finishing up on vault for West Virginia.
That was a beautiful Yurchenko full twist. Little steps on that landing, but again, it was a strong finish for West Virginia. They competed very, very well today, and I know that they are proud as a team.
And that was an opportunity for her to work her way into the bar lineup, or into the vault lineup, excuse me, more regularly. This is only her 2nd time competing on vault. Did on Sunday against Oklahoma, the top team in the country. Head over to the bars. This is Monica Servideo for Temple. She's working in the 4th spot in this lineup. One of the all-arounders for the Owls. She, along with the next young lady in the rotation, Ariana Castrense, will compete in every apparatus today. Servideo dismounts, trying to best her season high of 9.75, which she had last Friday.
That was a beautiful dismount. Here we can see again a double layout off the bars. Ariana is just a joy to watch. A beautiful all-around gymnast.
Monica Servideo, 9.825. That was, as you said, Ariana Castrense on the bars for Temple. Waiting on Jasmine Estrella to finish up that lineup for the Owls. Buckeyes getting ready on the floor after Peyton Hinterberger's 9:02.5. This is Danica Abanto on floor exercise for the Buckeyes. Floor is the only event she's competed in every meet this year, Paris.
And you'll see why she's so explosive on this event. I remember watching her when she was still in high school training, and I remember saying to myself that the Buckeyes are so lucky to have her on their team. Here she is opening up for her first pass. A beautiful running back handspring, double pike. Later in this routine, you're going to see her perform her, as I call it, signature dance move. She does it on the balance beam, and she do it here on the floor. That was a great second pass from Danica. She's such a hard worker. And again, her coach says that she has so much talent and so much potential to really be a great all-around gymnast for this team in the future.
Got to beat a 9.875 for the event title. It's held on to right now by Kira Kaczynski of West Virginia.
And here is that moonwalk. I mean, she loves that dance move. If she can do it on the vault, I'm sure she could. But unfortunately, she only does it, or we only get to see her do it on the balance beam on the floor exercise. Here she is with a beautiful double tuck, stuck dismount on the floor. That was gorgeous. And look at her, just so happy with excitement, as she should be. That was a gorgeous routine. That dismount was beautiful. She knows where she is in the air, sets really well, gets into a nice tight tuck, and then fights for that stick landing, that stuck landing. That was gorgeous from Danica. That was a gorgeous routine, and again, she is coming back from a knee injury, so that is not an easy thing to do. I've torn my ACL, and it is extremely difficult, but she's gorgeous on the floor.
Last one on the bars for Temple. This is Jasmine Estrella, the transfer from Utah State, and the stuck dismount.
That was gorgeous. That was a beautiful connection. Full pirouette to immediate double tuck dismount. And the Temple Owls, they are excited. Beautiful pirouette to immediate double tuck dismount. I'm not sure if the judges are going to give her that stuck credit. It did kind of look like she might have shimmied her feet. But again, that was a beautiful bar set for the Owls.
And they're so excited to have her anchoring the bars, too. We were talking with Josh Nielsen, you see on the left of your screen. He said that in the past, bars were our weakest event. Jasmine's incredible on them. That's her #1 event. She's so good on them, Paris. Josh was talking about how she slipped off the bar at Penn, came back from an injury, trained one day, and hit a 9.775 in competition.
And you know, she's a fighter. And the Temple Owls, they are all fighters. That is why they were able to finish very strong after a shaky start.
Janelle McClelland on floor in the #4 spot for the Buckeyes.
And I love Janelle. I mean, on this event, she is just a pleasure to watch. I can watch her all day. You can really see her personality just come out on the floor exercise.
3 event titles on this event this year. She had one last February 8th at Maryland. Current leader on the floor, still Kira Kaczynski, 9.875. Danica Abanto hit a 9.825, falling just short.
Here she is preparing for her last pass. The last home meet, not only did she make her teammates smile, but she made me smile and she made the judges smile. And after that routine, I think she did it again. She knows how to perform. The audience, the crowd, they are on their feet. The judges are smiling. Her teammates are cheering. That was a great routine. Here we see that last pass, a beautiful double tuck to a great landing. You can see Coach Meredith just smiling so big in the back because today her team are competing her team is competing the way they know how.
And Paris, they've been so dominant today that they have an opportunity to sweep the event titles. They've already claimed the event title on beam, Jamie Stone 9.925. They've claimed the event title on vault, Sydney Jennings 9.9. And they've claimed a shared event title on bars between two of their own, Jenna Swartzen-Truber and Claire Gagliardi, tying with 9.875. They've got a 9.85 now from Janelle McClelland on the floor. So the last event title the Buckeyes need to earn a clean sweep of these 4 events this afternoon is anything 9.875 or better in their last 2 floor exercises between Jamie Stone, who's up now, and Olivia Apley, who will finish off. And remember, Jamie, last week's Big 5 champion on the floor.
Yes, and I think that if she hits this routine, she is going to take this floor title. I love this music. It is going to change and come back to it. But she is just so beautiful on this event. A beautiful opening pass, ground up back handspring double pike. And here, as I talk about that music change, we are witnessing it, changing a little bit of that tempo in the music. Here she is going into that second pass, round up back handspring, back 2.5, punch front tuck. She does it so gorgeously. The way she twists, she just makes it look so easy. And again, as a former gymnast, side note, it is not easy to twist, but she makes it look so easy. And she's just out there having fun. I love watching her on this event.
You need such core strength for that twist.
You do, and that she has. Here, that music would change, going back to River by the one and only, the singer Bishop Briggs. And here, Jamie is gonna prepare for that dismount, a round up back handspring, back 2.5. And she is just fired up. And again, this arena, they are cheering. They are so loud for the Lady Bucks because they are performing so well.
Jamie Stone needs a 9.8 or better for a tie of the all-around title, which would be her 3rd all-around event title this year. She already has the beam title, and she needs a 9.875 or better in order to also collect the floor exercise event title. We'll see what the judges throw for her. And she has a quick chat with the anchor for the Buckeyes, Olivia Apley.
I believe that floor routine was definitely better than a 9.8. I know it was better than a 9.8. So I think the question is really, is she going to take that floor title away from West Virginia? And she does with a huge 9.95. Not only does she take the floor title, but now she has the all-around title.
Floor title, beam title, all-around title, career high tying 9.95 on the floor exercise to finish it off for Jamie Stone. And now Olivia Apley to finish off this competition for the Buckeyes.
I love this music for Olivia. And that moment right there makes me tear up every time. A beautiful opening, round up back handspring to a double tuck. Olivia is becoming one of my favorite floor workers for the Lady Bucks. Here she is changing that tempo in her music. You can't see, but her teammates are dancing and they're out there having fun right with her. You can even see her head coach Meredith doing a little bit of the choreography herself. Here's that second pass, front handspring to a front full punch, front layout. She has this arena on their feet. One more pass. If she lands on her feet, this team will take the title for this competition. Here she is setting for that last pass. Round up back handspring, double pike, and she lands on her feet. And I think the Buckeyes just have taken the title in this competition. They competed so well today, and it's so great to see this team compete like they know how. They started off in the competition very strong, and as the season started to go by, they've had a little quirks and it's been a little shaky for them, but today it is all behind them. Here we see Olivia again with that final pass, a beautiful double pipe, and she is just so happy as she should be. That was a beautiful floor routine. And I'm so glad that this team was finally able to perform like they know they can.
Olivia Appley gets a 9-7-7-5 to help the Buckeyes clinch it today over Temple and 24th ranked West Virginia. Jamie Stone simply dominant this afternoon. The event title on beam with a career high tying 9.925. The event title on floor with a career high tying 9.95. And the all-around title with a new career high for the senior Jamie Stone of 39.5. The Buckeyes win it. They sweep all of the event titles this afternoon, and Jamie Stone with beam, floor, and all-around event titles for Ohio State. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll hand out the event title awards and wrap things up from St. John Arena. You're watching women's gymnastics coverage on BTN Student U.
All of our gymnasts that competed today. The MVP for West Virginia is Kira Goshinsky. The MVP for Temple, Monica Servideo. And the MVP for your Ohio State Buckeyes, Jimmy Stone. And now the final team results from this afternoon's competition.
Ohio State victorious in our tri-meet this afternoon between the Buckeyes, West Virginia Mountaineers, and Temple Owls. Jamie Stone with a magnificent performance. This is her career high, tying 9.95 on floor. She won floor, she won beam, she won the all-around, and the Buckeyes sweep the event titles in a victorious 196.85 performance. Ohio State with their best score of this 2019 season. Paris, a better score than they had in their loss to Nebraska. Their previous season high was a 196.4, 196.85 today. They take first. West Virginia takes second, and Temple places third in our tri-meet this afternoon. We told you that the Buckeyes swept the event title awards today. Sydney Jennings, a career high 9.9 on vault. Jenna Swartzentruber and Claire Gagliardi share the bars event title at 9.875. Jamie Stone, a career high 9.925 on beam to win that event. Jamie Stone again, a career high 9.95, as we said, on floor to win that event. And Jamie Stone with a career high 39.5 to win the all-around. Paris, a big win for the Buckeyes. They go to 5-3 overall, 3-2 still in Big Ten play, and a magnificent performance not only to sweep the event titles, but for Jamie Stone to come into St. John Arena and absolutely dominate. What was your one takeaway from this afternoon?
You know, anything can happen. You know, as Coach Meredith said, you talk about expectation versus intention as a coach, as a program, and you really just want to make sure that you go into a competition with intention. You don't know what the judges are going to do. You can't predict the future, but what you can do is have the intention. Have the intention to hit your routines in the competition as you do all the time in practice. So I think the biggest takeaway from this competition was that yesterday was yesterday, and today is a brand new day. And if today being a brand new day, if you can go in with the confidence, with the assurance, and with the intention, you can have a victorious performance and potentially come out on top in your own confidence.
What a way to come back from last week's Big Five meet to dominate today on your home floor at historic St. John Arena in Columbus. For Paris McGee Jr. and our entire crew, I'm Andrew Luftglass saying thanks so much for watching our coverage of women's gymnastics this afternoon on BTN Student U.